Hello, and welcome to How to Live Forever, a video tutorial for those that wish to abstain from death.
By the end of this video tutorial, you'll have all the tools in your tools kit to live forever.
And to never die.
For the rest of your life.
And when we say live forever, we're talking about the real deal.
None of that leaving a lasting legacy through the memories of your loved ones bull.
Actual eternal life, now and tomorrow, and every day after that.
Consider all that you could do.
You could read all of a book.
You could organize your personal effects in a myriad of different fashions. Space. Space. Detroit baseball. Detroit tigers like bears. Bears eat bunnies. But angels are also space. It doesn't work for you. Well, you don't need to get rude with me. Okay, it's fine. I can reorder. We just reordered twice. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Who taught you that word? Stop it! Can you all stop shouting? Who taught you that word? Huh? I don't know what they want. What do you want from me?
You could spend 100 years digging a single hole.
And now we all can, simply by practicing and employing the tricks that we're sharing with you today.
Now, most people think it's impossible to get a perfect score when visiting their doctor, but it's easier than you'd think.
I had been failing my doctor's exams for years, and then it hit me. There has to be a better way.
And there is. To ensure you'll ace your doctor's exam and be on your way to immortality, you simply need to give your doctor the right answers.
Hi, patient. I'm an actual doctor. Have you been exercising and eating healthfully?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, then.
Now there's a guy who's gonna live to see the sun burn out. Remember, remain vigilant. Some doctors can be downright pushy. In those cases, it's important to remind them who's really in charge here.
Really? Because looking at your charts, your cholesterol's through the roof, your blood sugar suggests untreated diabetes, and I'm spotting multiple major organ failures.
Hey man, listen. I don't have to sit here and get insulted by some wannabe dentist. There's a million other doctors I could go to.
Whoa, 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 let's not get crazy here. Switching doctors? That's unheard of. Listen, maybe we can fudge some of these numbers.
I do like fudge.
I'll write your prescription right now.
I'll use it to get fudge. One fudge.
It's not always quite so easy. In certain cases, a little bit of greasing the stethoscope may be required.
The results came in. Unfortunately, it's terminal.
Doctor, the only terminal I want to hear about is the terminal at Cabo Wabo International Airport, if you catch my drift. Perhaps a second opinion from Dr. Andrew Jackson may help, if you catch my drift.
Wow, Andrew Jackson. He's my favorite president. I've been collecting these. Let me just take another look at these charts. Yes, it looks like you have a terminally good attitude. You are well into the late stages of being a nice guy. And you have an inoperable charm.
Charm! Who'd have thunk it? Planning a funeral can only lead to one thing, and that's a funeral.
Why would you, a fully alive person, spend your hard-earned moolah on something only a dead person can use?
It'd be like buying a car for a complete stranger.
Yeah, and then burying that car.
And then burying that car.
And yet, year after year, people waste their hard-earned Andrew Jacksons on elaborate parties that they themselves cannot even attend.
In fact, it's what the shysters in the funeral industry are counting on.
If you don't plan it, it won't happen.
Dad, let me help you with that.
Leave me alone. I can do it myself. You think you can take your old man?
Dad, can we talk? I think we have to make some plans for the future.
Son, I am planning for the future. I just took a second mortgage out on the house. I ordered one of those infinity pools that the Johnsons keep rattling on about. But don't you and Susan worry. I'm going back to work. I'm decided to come out of retirement.
You're going back to work, Dad. You're 87 years old, and you're a chimney sweep. Listen, we don't even know if you want to be buried or burned.
Neither. You can tell those New York cosmopolitan funeral home types that you like hobnobbing around with that they can keep their hands off my body. It's my body. It's my choice.
Now there's a guy who's gonna live on an Earth totally depleted of natural resources.
If you weren't previously paying attention, do so now. This is the crucial part.
You'd think this would be obvious, but nearly everyone bungles this step at one point or another.
If you have a relative or loved one who made the boneheaded decision to not remain alive, don't sweat it. Even Albert Einstein blew it on this one.
Nice move, Einstein! We will now present to you a series of scenes featuring Goofus and Gallant. Old Goofus just can't seem to manage this not dying business, while Gallant aces it every time.
Five, four, three, two, one. Walk time.
I love you, son. It's been a long life, and I have no regrets. Damn you, God!
Well, I mean, I'm paying for 5 megabits. I don't know why I'm not getting 5 megabits. I mean, where are my download speeds? Where's my bandwidth? Well, elevate it to the next tier then. Listen, Bob, don't try to pull a fast one on me, okay? I spent 10 years in IT and know what I'm talking about. Give me my bandwidth. Look at dumb old Goofus dying. And in front of his son to boot. How embarrassing.
Gallant wisely chose to take a well-earned break from dying to convince his internet company to give him the download speeds that he deserves.
And that completes the download speed section of your workbooks.
Head to section M for mouth, subsection B for breathing.
And the subsection O for organic, which brings us to step 4.
Most Westerners aren't even aware that they breathe incorrectly.
Only with organic breathing can you ensure that your body receives the right air nutrients to activate its reverse death drive.
Anthropologists have observed that rural tribespeople breathe only once a year.
And that's only if they're winded.
Did you know that the average human only uses 10% of their lungs? And most of the time they're filling it with this modern synthetic air. Hey, you.
I've only taken a breath 4 times in the last 10 years.
Now that I don't have to breathe, I'm doing it for the heck of it. And I'm finding that I'm breathing like a kid all over again.
Organic breathing can be achieved easily through a few simple exercises.
That we'll try.
Now,
To begin organic breathing, start with a round of 6 exhalations to every 1 inhalation.
Keep going. Make sure to do a few rounds.
Feel it in your lungs?
if you're feeling short of breath and humiliated, that means it's working.
That's the lungs starting the organic cycle.
Okay, now hold it.
Keep holding.
I have to breathe yet. Keep holding.
Keep holding.
If you had to take a breath, that means you are incapable of organic breathing and therefore cannot live forever.
Please, turn on this video and leave the room.
If you're watching this on an airplane, unfortunately, you do have to jump out of that airplane. Remember to burn your workbook, as well as your driver's license and social security cards.
And of course, use a hot skillet to remove your fingerprints.
If you're still watching, then that means that you're capable of continuing the path to immortality.
Or you're a liar who thinks that they can skip a step. A filthy liar who doesn't know how easily they can be found out.
Living forever can be a drag if you don't find a hobby.
Mine's memorabilia. Don't copy it. Memorabilia is mine. I already chose memorabilia.
And that concludes course number 1. You're now well on your way to outliving everyone you love.
And here's a tip. Try not to get paralyzed, because you'll be trapped that way for eternity.
If by some chance you do not live forever, please rewatch this tape, as you may have skipped a step.
If you think that you may be dead, give yourself a pinch and make sure that you're not just asleep.
Have fun being alive.
And not dead.
For the rest of your life.